Hello, my shining stars, Aries, it's Julia, and this is the first Lunar Day Astrology channel. Welcome to your July 2025 horoscope and another walk with me through the beautiful places of Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. Your ruling planet is Mars, the planet of energy, drive, and raw courage. This month invites you to balance action with reflection, to find strength in softness, and to trust that even challenges are doorways to divine realignment. Let's dive in. July 4th. Venus joins Uranus at the very edge of your second house, stirring up surprises in your finances and values, or perhaps even a gift out of the blue. When Venus swiftly enters your third house, bringing charm to your voice, harmony to your conversations, ideas, and sweet messages from the siblings or neighbors. It's a perfect moment for writing, learning, or marketing your ideas with grace. Venus brings finances, income, and opportunities, gifts, pleasures, luxury, and joy. But if you're planning to buy anything expensive like a phone or a laptop or a vehicle, finalize your purchases before mid-July because Mercury goes retrograde and we're heading into some turbulent astrological weather at the end of the month. High alert for everyone with the ascendant in Leo because retrograde Mercury will be in Leo. July 6th. Mars is in your sixth house, the house of daily routines, helpers, pets, and service business. Connects beautifully with the Black Moon Lilith in your eighth house. You might find healing power in the little things or receive help in matters that were once taboo or hidden. You might finally find a contractor, a helper, a nanny, or a doctor, or that pet sitter you've been needing so much. Meanwhile, Venus in the third house flows harmoniously with Saturn and Neptune in your first. You, dear Aries, become a source of poetic wisdom and structured inspiration. Your words matter. Share them. You may feel a strong pull to change your style, your hair, or even your wardrobe. Remember, beauty procedures and injections last longer before the full moon. July 7th. Uranus steps into your third house and will remain direct until September the 5th. This signals a breakthrough in how you think, speak, and learn. Sudden clarity, unexpected news, or a genius idea might arrive. Venus in your third house also connects to Pluto in the 11th, bringing second chances with friends, communities, online dating, parties or online business, weddings, and long-term dreams. It's basically when many people gather together. A heartfelt message could reach someone who truly needs to hear it. But on the same day, Mercury in your fifth house has a tension with the Black Moon Lilith in your eighth. It can be miscommunications in romance or with children. Don't rush your decisions. And this day also begins the shadow corridor for the upcoming Mercury retrograde. I will create the separate video about retrograde Mercury, so prepare. Don't forget to subscribe and ring that bell. July 10th. The full moon lights up your 10th house, your public image, career, reputation, achievements, and your father-like figure. A major project may reach its climax, or decision from an authority figure may come through, bringing clarity about your new status. Be careful with your bones, especially your knees. Avoid extreme sports. Moon in Capricorn is responsible for that. More about lunar days and phases is in my lunar guide, available on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde journey in your first house. And yes, your very own path. This will last until November 27th this year. Saturn, the lord of time and karma, now asks you to revisit who you've become, how you carry responsibility, and whether your current identity truly reflects your soul. You are not alone. If you are feeling the pressure, please watch my full video on Saturn. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon enters Aries, your sign. So it's a migraine alert. Keep your meds close and avoid facial treatments and dental visits during these days. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrograde becomes active in your 5th house, your creativity, love life, inner child. There is a magic here too. If you are willing to slow down, this is a period of reflection, connection, revision, and second chances. Unexpected storms may arrive, metaphorically speaking, and the tides may go low, but don't worry. Every low tide reveals treasures buried in the sand. You are not stuck. You're gathering strength. From July 18th to 20th, there are perfect days for beauty treatments, manicures, and pedicures. The effect will last longer. More tips I have in my lunar guide, again, available on Kindle Amazon. On July 22nd, Mars in your 6th house conflicts the North Node in your 12th, your spiritual zone. Are you overworking and ignoring your soul's quiet voice? The universe whispers to slow down. House of health, house of isolation, and hospitals. Scammers from faraway lands might reappear. Long-distance relationships won't work out. Be careful about that. Venus in your 3rd house squares both the North Node and Mars, so communication may feel heated. Let kindness lead. I have a separate video on my channel about the lunar nodes, which change every 1.5 years and show your future focus. On the same day, July 22nd, the Sun enters your 5th house, illuminating love, children, playfulness, and self-expression. A golden spotlight returns to your heart. Expect good news, maybe pregnancy news in your family, invitations to the parties, concerts, weddings, or art exhibitions. It's time to receive joy with gratitude, but the Sun is not alone here. On July 24th, the new moon arrives in your 5th house. Normally, it's a beautiful new beginnings in the romance and creativity, but this one arrives under the heavy skies of Mercury retrograde and a tense square to the black moon. Old wounds may echo, but even they can lead to healing. I have a full video on Lilith also on my channel if you'd like to understand this powerful archetype and how to work with her. The new moon is either the beginning or the ending of the cycle of something. So pay attention to what the new moon in Leo brings you. On July 28th, Venus in your 3rd house connects gently to Chiron in your 1st. Words can heal, even the message you send to yourself. Write yourself a love letter today. Don't curse others or yourself. Today, your words carry magical properties, whether or not you believe in magic. And if someone curses you on this day, just say, "Your words land on your shoulders. I don't accept them." It's a very powerful technique. July 30th, Venus moves into your 4th house, house of home, family, roots, traditions, and official documents. A sweet time for beautifying your space, soft moments with loved ones, or revisiting family memories. Venus brings pleasure from spending time with the lovely females in your circle and brings gifts, love, and joy. Pregnancy news or expansion of the family also are quite likely because Jupiter brings you blessings in the same house, and this will last for a year. More blessings I mentioned in my Jupiter video on my channel. Jupiter expands everything. It's your guardian angel and it's in your house 4 too. And Selene is in the same house until September. Chiron, the wounded healer, returns to retrograde in your 1st house and will stay here through the rest of the year. Healing continues, not outwardly, but within. You are being guided step by step to become your own safe place. You'll find it easier to accept yourself. You'll begin to see the destructive patterns and quicksands and how to avoid them. You'll start noticing more repetitive numbers and signs all around you. Dear Aries friend, this month may bring inner storms and outer lightnings. But remember, you are ruled by Mars. You're the flame that lights others in the dark. Trust the detours. Trust the stillness. Trust the divine timing of your path. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share this video with someone who needs a little cosmic encouragement. You can book the private reading. I will leave the contacts here. Until the next time, keep shining. Every comment onto this video will have a personal blessing. I hope to see you in my future videos. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Tauruses and Taurus ascendants. It's Julia, and welcome back to the first lunar day astrology channel. Let's walk together once again through this month cosmic weather. As always, I'm sending you a view from the heart of Vancouver, British Columbia. Your ruling planet is Venus, the goddess of love, beauty, and grace. She is your steady rhythm, your inner artist, your sense of touch. And this month, she dances through the sky with spark and surprise. This July is the month of shifts, surprising blessings, hidden treasures, and divine detours that may first look like closed doors. But trust me, every cosmic cloud holds a secret gift from the universe. Let's look at your stars. July 4th, Venus meets Uranus at the edge of your first house, the house of your identity, body, and personal expression. This is no ordinary day. Expect a sudden change in how you see yourself or how others see you. If you visit the beauty salon on this day, expect unexpected results. Maybe a new look, a burst of confidence, or even a surprising love confession. Moments later, Venus slips into the second house, the house of money, values, and self-worth. The Queen is in her castle. Here she opens the gates to new income streams, gifts, and luxurious pleasures. Money, pleasures, gifts, sweets, love. But before you buy that new phone or laptop or a car, just know that Mercury is preparing to go retrograde, so try to finalize big purchases early in the month before the waters get muddy. July 6 arrives with quieter intensity. Mars dances through Virgo, or your fifth house of love, passion, children, joy, and romance, and reaches out in a supportive sextile, means a good lucky aspect to the mysterious black moon Lilith in Scorpio, your seventh house of love, partnership, and deep one-on-one bonds. This is a subtle but powerful, a soft stirring in your heart, a push to express something bold, to love with courage, to confront a truth in the relationship that's been lingering under the surface. You may feel pulled to protect what matters, to speak up, or to act from the fire of your own creative will. Even if the feelings are edgy or raw, they are real and asking for your voice. At the same time, Venus, goddess of pleasure and ruler of your sign, is shimmering in Gemini, in your second house of income, values, and self-worth. She gently kisses Saturn and Neptune, sitting in your mystical 12th house of dreams, solitude, foreign lands, and unseen healing. A blessing arrives here like a whisper. Financial relief through grace, not force. A soulful realization about your worth that softens old fears. You may feel guided to invest in something spiritual, therapeutic, or deeply restorative. Also something foreign, because house 12 is house of foreign lands. Even a small act of self-care now ripples into a deeper kind of abundance. Money contracts from faraway lands, maybe working on the cruise ship, oil rig, something remote, something far away, love with a foreigner, or maybe releasing tension in the spa, a remote hotel, or the places of isolation. This is a moment to trust your intuition, to let quiet blessings unfold behind the scenes. You may not see the full picture yet, but you feel the truth of it in your bones. A sacred day to honor your worth, to choose love over fear, and to align your desires with divine timing. On July 7th, Uranus moves fully into your second house and will remain direct until early September. This brings a major shakeup to your finances, your salary, your possessions, your security and safety. Sudden gains or losses are very possible, but they are guiding you to detach from what doesn't define your worth. That same day, Venus trines Pluto retrograde in your 10th house. Trine is a good aspect. You may reconnect with the career opportunities. Second chances are written in the stars, but Mercury in your 4th house is in tension with the Black Moon Lilith in your 7th, so conversations at home or with a partner may become quite intense. Speak with clarity, breathe before you react, stay away from firearms and suing anybody. Don't be surprised if your partner would want to have your place of living or fight for a personal space. And remember, this is the start of the Mercury retrograde shadow phase, a time when old themes resurface and miscommunications sneak in. There will be a detailed video on my channel about retrograde Mercury. The shadow corridor is usually 10 days before and 10 days after. Subscribe and ring that bell so you don't miss the cosmic cues. On July 10th, we have a full moon in Capricorn. The full moon lights up your 9th house, the house of beliefs, travels, visas, philosophy, higher learning, exams, second marriage, courts, justice, and laws. So, a dream of a distant land, a book, a class, or a spiritual path reaches a climax. You may feel a deep urge to teach, preach, publish, or leave the comfort zone. This is a moon of truth, showing what no longer fits your worldview. You might finally get a new passport or a visa. Be careful with your knees and bones. Avoid extreme sports or risky adventures. I have more details on lunar days, on cycles, and the moon in different zodiacs in my lunar guide, available online. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde journey in your 12th house of subconscious, hidden truths, addictions, dreams, spirituality, faraway lands, and the karmic past. This house is a quiet one, but never silent. It holds what's buried beneath your surface, the thoughts you whisper to yourself before sleep, the grief you've packed away in a forgotten drawer, the longings you've never said out loud. Now Saturn, ancient lord of time and responsibility, turns back. You may find old fears returning, old dreams flickering. You might crave solitude more than usual, or discover that rest doesn't come as easy as before. Something within is shifting and the soul wants your attention. This is the house of endings and preparation, of spiritual detox, of karmic reckoning, and with Neptune also in Aries, weaving dreams and illusions. This retrograde is not just about structure, it's about surrendering what you can no longer control, and you will be much happier. So don't force it. If you've been avoiding a truth, Saturn will now shine a spotlight on it, gently but firmly. I have a full video on my channel about Saturn 2025-2028, and if you've felt a strange emotional weight or spiritual fog, it will help you to understand what's moving through your life right now. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon enters Aries. Be gentle with your body. Headaches and tension may arise. Avoid dental work and facial treatments these days. This is a sensitive time, but also one of the emotional clarity. Listen to your body. It speaks the whispers before it screams. And remember, stillness is productive too. There will be the Algol fixed star passing the degrees of Taurus. Whoever has this fixed star in their birth charts, please watch my Algol video for 2025. to understand which events it could potentially trigger or activate. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrograde begins, and it begins in your 4th house, your home, your roots, your memories, your family. This is a deeper emotional zone. Old family stories may return, a home renovation could stall, or surprise news about your parents may resurface. But here is a gift. You are offered a second chance to heal the foundation. A room may be emptied to welcome new light, and the walls of your inner temple, your sense of belonging, can be rebuilt stronger. So slow down, reconnect with your past, revisit the old photos or places. Sometimes the treasure is hidden right where you started, in the family roots. From July 18th to July 20th, beauty window opens. Perfect days for the beauty treatments, haircuts, manicures, pedicures. What you begin now, especially if it nourishes your body or your image, will last longer. My lunar guide has more tips on these powerful windows of attraction and renewal. On July 22nd, Mars is in your house 5, now opposes, is in war, in a conflict with North Node in your 11th. This activates a tug-of-war between personal passion and collective responsibility. Are you sacrificing your joy for approval? Are you chasing applause instead of authenticity? It's time to honor your inner artist, not the crowd. Venus, still in your 2nd house of money, squares both Mars and the node. It's the money talks. But what is really saying? If conversations around value, love, or creativity feels tense, just pause. Don't invest during this time. Use this moment to realign with what truly matters. Tense aspects will trigger algorithm for financial losses. Be aware of that. On the good news, Sun enters your 4th house. Your focus shifts homeward. Expect invitations to family gatherings, homecomings, spiritual moments at your altar, your reflections about your ancestry. Some of you may feel the call to move, to relocate, find a new apartment, redecorate, beautify the place of your living, or simply reroute. On July 24th, there is a new moon in Leo. The new moon rises in your 4th house, the same house where the sun is. The sacred space of home, family, ancestry, and inner foundations. Normally, it's a beautiful time to set intentions around where and with whom you feel safe. But this time, the sky carries weight. Mercury retrograde is active, and Lilith in your 7th house forms a tense square, a bad aspect. So some old wounds in partnership or family dynamic may echo loudly. You might feel those karmic patterns in generational trauma. It's an unfortunate time for marriage and conception. Be aware of that. But even this intensity is not here to break you. Is here to awaken clarity and help you to draw stronger boundaries in love and loyalty, and not to be stuck in this wheel of samsaric generational issues. You may be called to revisit your relationship with your roots, with your parents or your partners, both the ones you were born into or the ones you've planted yourself. If you criticize or hate your parents, you might have the same karmic rakes set right in front of you. I have a full video on Lilith if you would like to understand how this powerful archetype works and how to use her placement. Please watch it. Even if it's emotional storm, trust that the universe is helping you to rebuild something stronger, something honest and more real. On July 28th, Venus in your financial house softly embraces Chiron in your 12th. A hidden pain around self-worth, money, or value may now dissolve. This is the day to write yourself a love letter. Literally. Be kind, be generous, be gentle and tender. You are your best friend. Words carry magic today, especially the ones you speak to your own reflection. If someone throws shade your way, remember this phrase. Your words land on your shoulders. I don't accept them. You can even say it out loud, because you are protecting yourself with your own words, and your words carry magical properties. On July 30th, Venus moves into your third house, a beautiful placement for writing, speaking, learning, and reconnecting. Opportunities to relocate. You might meet a powerful female in your surrounding, might be a sweet neighbor, a wise stranger, a kind nurse, or a new roommate, or even a new crush. Sweet deals on a retro car. This is the time to beautify your voice, speak your truth with softness, avoid lies, benefit from your ideas. It's a wonderful time to participate in marketing or advertising. Expect a good conversations with your siblings, neighbors, or an inspiring idea that wants to be shared. Jupiter expands your house 3, and more gifts and blessings are coming. Check my Jupiter video on my channel for more inspiration. On the same day, Chiron turns retrograde in your 12th house, house of dreams, healing, solitude, and all unseen. Healing now happens behind the scenes, in the silence between your thoughts. Listen to your intuition. You're becoming your own sanctuary. You'll begin to notice the signs, repeating numbers, déjà vu, soft whispers from the universe. You will see that you're not imagining things, you're awakening, you're manifesting them. You might revisit the places where you were at peace and isolation. Dear Taurus friend, this month brings gentle revolution and sacred questions. Yes, there may be shadows, but every shadow points to the light. Trust the pauses, trust the detours, trust the universe, the high power that knows the route even when your map goes blank. You are held, you are guided, and you are ready. If this forecast resonated, please like, comment, and subscribe. Every comment receives a personal blessing. And if you would like to book a personal reading, I will leave the contact right here. Until the next time, keep blooming in your own timing. See you in my future videos. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Gemini and Gemini ascendants. It's Julia here, and welcome back to the first lunar day astrology. Walking with me again through the beauty of Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada, as we step into your July horoscope. Your ruling planet is Mercury, the messenger of gods, weaving meaning, connection, and curiosity through your world. This month, Mercury is entering one of its most reflective, mysterious cycles, so stay close. This month offers you a dance between the known and the unknown, the spoken and the silent. Trust that whatever falls away is simply making room for a deeper truth to emerge. Let's begin. July 4th, Venus meets Uranus at the very last degrees of your 12th house, the hidden, the spiritual, the subconscious. Something long buried might resurface now, and secret longing, a forgotten dream, even a sudden flash of clarity during meditation or sleep. And just a few hours later, Venus enters your first house, your house of identity and appearance. You may feel like refreshing your wardrobe, enhancing your beauty, and even changing how you show up to the world. Venus here softens your gaze and draws others near. This is your cosmic charm boost. Let yourself glow. You're a magnet for opportunities and dreams. But if you're thinking of buying expensive beauty tech, a vehicle, or booking a treatment, act early. Mercury shadow period begins soon, and the astrological wind may stir unexpectedly. July 6th, Mars in your house 4 forms a beautiful sextile lucky aspect with the black moon Lilith in your 6th. the house of work, helpers, pets, routines, and service. This could be deep healing at home or through a daily rhythm that finally supports your emotional well-being, maybe a pet returning joy to your household, or you reorganize your space in a way that feels just right. It can be a time for successful conception of a child or an idea connected with real estate, land, or family or documents, relocation push for a better life. Venus, now in your first house, sends soft energy to Saturn and Neptune in your 11th, your dreams, your social world, your community, online business, and dating. Your presence inspires the house of your biggest dreams. You might receive a financial opportunity through a friend, a church, or a club, or your dreams may finally take shape with the little structure and divine inspiration. Believe that what you imagine has a place in the world. If you have a wedding during this time, it will be smooth and joyful. The public events that failed before now will be successful. July 7th, Uranus enters your first house and will be direct until September the 5th. This is a rebirth of sorts. Expect an awakening in your identity, your look, your purpose, and your status. The old mask no longer fits, and you don't need it anymore. It is time to meet yourself again, to reinvent yourself with wonder. Venus in your first house has a lucky aspect with Pluto retrograde in your 9th. You might receive a second chance to publish, to travel, to teach, or to study something you once set aside, to win the court case that you thought you didn't stand a chance, and an old application may reappear, old court case get the new results. The travel dream isn't over. It was just on pause. You might meet a very important female in travels and she will change your world. But also on this day, Mercury in your 3rd house squares the black moon Lilith in your 6th. So some square is not the great aspect. Words may stir up miscommunication, may flare in your workspace or daily schedule. Be patient and remember, this is the beginning of the Mercury retrograde shadow corridor, usually 10 days before and 10 days after. A full video is coming on my channel about it, so hit subscribe and ring the bell to prepare for it with me. July 10th, full moon is in your 8th house, the house of transformation, debts, inheritance, intimacy, and soul bonds. Something hidden comes to light. You might release an emotional burden, pay off a karmic or financial debt, or receive a clarity in a close partnership. Emotions run deep. This is not a surface level full moon. It's the kind that clears what no longer serves, even if it aches. It's like a karmic surgery. Avoid extreme sports and watch out for bone sensitivity, especially in knees and joints. More about moon phases and moon in different zodiacs I have in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. If you're interested, please check it out. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde in your 11th house until November 27th. Saturn is the keeper of time and karma. You may revisit old friendships, groups projects, or long-held dreams. This is not a punishment, it's a refinement and the second examination in this house. What's meant for you will hold firm. And if something slips away, trust that the path ahead has a higher alignment. I have a deeper dive on Saturn on my channel if you're feeling that weight of responsibility or delays. That video will help you to understand the deeper purpose behind this pressure. Saturn 2025 and 2028 will have the same vibes. July 15th to July 18th, the moon moves through Aries. So here is a migraine alert. Avoid dental procedures and facials. Keep your meds close and rest when needed. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury turns retrograde in Leo in your 3rd house. your domain, the house of communication, ideas, short travels, siblings. But this Mercury retrograde isn't just a missed calls or lost emails. No, it's about reclaiming your voice. Leo rules the heart. So, what do you really want to say from that sacred center? What story do you want to rewrite? You may revisit a conversation from the past, reconnect with someone from school, or find the courage to express something long buried. It's a great time to relocate to the places where you've been before, to repair any broken transportation. Old messages resurface, and so does your power to choose how you speak and how deeply you listen. Be mindful with contracts, transportation, and tech. Back things up, confirm plans, but don't fear the pause or reschedule. Even the silence has music in it. Let your words ripen in the stillness. This is your moment to rediscover the poetry in your mind and of your soul. From July 18th to July 20th, there are best days for beauty treatments, manicures, pedicures. They will last longer. I have more tips and beauty tricks in my lunar guide. On July 22nd, Mars is in your 4th house that opposes North Node in your 10th. The balance between home and career calls. Are you rooted where you live? Or it's the time to redefine what home even means. Venus is in your 1st house, and it has a bad aspect, which we'll call 90 degrees square, both with the North Node and Mars. So emotions may flare within or with your family. It's the bad time for marriage, and you might not be satisfied with the real estate deal or personal assistance, your new status, or the mistakes in the official documents. Also pay attention that the conception of baby or a project idea may not be a happy event, even if it's the excellent lunar day. And also don't invest money during this time, July 22nd, and before Venus changes the sign on July 30th. From the good news, the Sun enters your 3rd house, so expect invitations to speak, write, teach, or share. Your voice becomes a golden ray. Let it shine. On July 24th, there is a new moon in the same house, in your 3rd house. A perfect time for planting seeds in the communication, new projects, or healing relationships with siblings, neighbors, roommates, your closest surrounding. But the sky isn't crystal clear. Mercury is retrograde, and the black moon Lilith squares the new moon from your 6th house. So it can mean old fears, especially around health or being misunderstood, may echo. The misdiagnosis is very likely, so don't freak out or panic when you get some diagnosis. Seek other opinions, you'll be fine. Breathe, write, pray, create. Every ending here is a quietly opening a sacred new chapter. It's a good time for spending time in nature. Nature will heal you. And I have a full video on Lilith if you would like to understand how to work with this archetype, how to benefit from her placement. July 28th, Venus in your 1st house reaches out to Chiron in your 11th. You may mend a rift with a friend or offer words that help someone believe in their dreams again. Even a compliment today could change someone's week, including your own. Speak life and choose life. On July 30th, the ruler of money, luxury, pleasures, and satisfaction, Venus, moves into your 2nd house, bringing you blessings to money matters, possessions, and self-worth. You may find beauty in the simple things. Gifts could arrive. A lovely time to refresh your budget and honor your talents. All debts will be paid. Jupiter will expand your finances for this year. You will have the luckiest placement of Jupiter. The biggest financial earn just began. Watch my full Jupiter video on my channel for your ascendant and your zodiac. On the same day, Chiron turns retrograde on your 11th house. Healing with your friendship, hopes, bigger dreams, and social purpose will now happen quietly and deeply. Your online business might get the second start. You may be guided to release group dynamics that feel heavy or fake, and in their place, your true tribe will begin to form. You will become the center of attention. It's your lucky moment. The red carpet moment, receive an Oscar for your best performance. Dear Gemini friend, this month may ask for your stillness in the storm, your truth in the chaos, and your softness in the pressure. And you will offer it because Mercury lives within you. You are not lost, you are listening, and the universe is answering in whispers, signs, and synchronicities. And this is your lucky time of second chances. If this touched your heart, please like, subscribe, and share this with someone who needs a little astrological light. You can book your solar or astrology consultation or reading by this email. Every comment receives a personal blessing as usual. See you in my next videos. Keep shining. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Cancers, and all people with ascendant in Cancer. It's Julia from the First Lunar Day Astrology channel. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating their solar return this July. May this new cycle bring you joy, growth, and golden opportunities. If the sun shines powerfully in your natal chart, your solar return becomes a celestial map crafted by the geolocation at the moment the sun returns to its natal position. It reveals the main themes and rhythms of your year ahead, helping you to align your plans, financial affairs, and key decisions with cosmic timing for a new year. And remember, if you are turning 35, for example, 35 is the life experience you've leaving behind. It's not the new age you are stepping into. You are actually beginning the 36th year of your life, and that is something truly wonderful. You are grown wiser, deeper, and more in tune with yourself. Wishing you a year full of love, radiant breakthroughs, and divine timing. You can order your personalized solar return chart or other astrology services by emailing me. Details I will leave in the end of this horoscope. Welcome to your July horoscope and another walk with me through the peaceful beauty of Vancouver, British Columbia, Canada. You are ruled by Moon, the Great Mother, the emotional heart of the zodiac. July is always powerful for you. It's your season of remembering who you truly are, a month of quiet strength, of inner tides and cosmic timing. So let's step into it together. On July 4th, Venus kisses Uranus at the edge of your 11th house, the house of dreams, friendship, online connections, and the communities. This could bring a surprising message, a gift, or even a sudden reconnection with someone from your soul circle. Then Venus moves into 12th house, the most private corner of your chart. You may feel more introspective, dreamy, or drawn to secret pleasures. Creative solitude will nourish you. Remember that. So will spiritual practices and visiting the places with big bodies of water. Water is your element. It will have healing properties for you. This is also a magical time for behind-the-scenes work, especially if you're working on something artistic, musical, or devotional. But remember, if you're planning a big purchase, finalize it before Mercury goes retrograde mid-month. That includes electronics, cars, phones, or expensive beauty treatments, or some beauty items for your home. Turbulent astrological weather is ahead. Prepare early. On July 6, Mars moves through your 3rd house, your voice, communication, siblings, and connects powerfully with Lilith in your 5th house. Words can become medicine now. A conversation might unlock healing in your creative life or love life. Meanwhile, Venus in your 12th house flows beautifully with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your 10th. Venus opens the door for the opportunities for a month for changing your status, improving your reputation, or applying for promotion or an award. On July 7th, Uranus steps into your 12th house, the hidden realm of dreams, the subconscious, solitude, and divine connection, and it will remain direct until September the 5th. This is a quiet yet deeply powerful shift. You might not see the change on the surface just yet, but something is awakening beneath. It could become through an unusual dream, a breakthrough in meditation, or a sudden release of something you've carried silently for years. Uranus here wants to free you from the inner prison that have silently shaped your life. Pay attention to signs and symbols. They are whispers from the divine. At the same time, Venus in your 12th house aligns beautifully with Pluto in your 8th. This is deep, private emotional transformation. Secrets might resurface. Intimacy deepens. You might feel closer to God, to universe, to nature, and your own unconscious. This could bring a second chance, an international financial opportunity, a healing conversation about intimacy, or a deep emotional renewal connected to your sense of worth or an addiction. A gift, a payment, or a foreign investment could come back around. However, Mercury is in your 2nd house of values, money, and your voice has a tense aspect with Black Moon Lilith in your 5th house of love, children, and creative expression. Just remember, I'm warning you that the new dating will hold a financial loss. You might feel a clash between what you want to say and what feels safe to express. A disagreement over money in a romantic context may arrive, or you might feel blocked in expressing your creative gifts fully. Don't rush to fix it. This friction has a purpose. It's the revealing what needs to be seen or healed. And this day also marks the beginning of the shadow corridor before the Mercury retrograde. It's a cue to slow down, double-check contracts, and listen more than you speak. I have a full video on Mercury retrograde in Leo to help you prepare with clarity and confidence. On July 10th, the full moon rises in your 7th house, the house of marriage, partnership, clients, and significant others. This is a spotlight on your relationships. A connection might reach a climax. A decision could be made. You'll know whether to commit, to walk away, or to redefine the roles you've been playing. Be gentle with your heart. The full moon brings clarity, and it's guiding you towards deeper, more soulful bonds. Avoid drama. Let love lead. And pay attention what happens to your partnership and relationship during this day. The full moon is in Capricorn, and please avoid any extreme sports and be gentle to your knees and joints because it's the most vulnerable organs during this time. I have more information in my lunar guide available on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn, the wise teacher and guardian of time, begins its retrograde journey in your 10th house, the domain of your career, public standing, and life's greater responsibilities. This inward turn will last until November 27th. During this time, you are being asked to reflect. Does your public path truly align with your soul's truth? Have you taken too much? Or are you ready to step into a greater responsibility with maturity and grace? This is not a punishment. It's an invitation to refine your mission, to review your goals, and rebuild your stronger foundations. If you feel delays or challenges in your professional life, see them as divine timing, reshaping your future for something more meaningful. You are not being held back. You are being reoriented. Let the stillness teach you. Let the weight shape you. If you like more insight, I have a full video about Saturn's journey from 2025 to 2028. Feel free to check it out on my channel. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon moves through Aries. Avoid medical procedures or drastic beauty changes. It's a migraine alert. Keep your meds close. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury turns retrograde in Leo in your financial house, house 2. It's also self-worth and values. Old financial matters might resurface. You may revise a budget or reevaluate what truly brings you value. It's not just about your income, which it is, but it's also about inner worth. You may realize that something you once craved no longer aligns with your soul. Be wise with spendings. Don't overspend or invest. Back up your files. Reflect before speaking, but also trust this Mercury retrograde offers clarity through reflection, not confusion. I will make a detailed video on my channel. From July 18th to July 20th, these are beautiful days for self-care, perfect for gentle beauty rituals, pedicures, and a nurturing spa day. The results will last longer. More lunar beauty tips I have in my lunar guide. It's available on Kindle Amazon as a book or as an ebook. On July 22nd, Mars in your 3rd house becomes in conflict, in war with North Node in your 9th. A message from the universe: slow down. House 3 is house of documents, transportation, relocation, your closest surrounding. And house 9 is courts, legal matters, travels, visas. So the conflict here will be very obvious for you if you start any new things around July 22nd. Let your mind rest. Do not sue anybody during this time. Your soul knows more than logic can explain. I have a separate video about lunar nodes that shift houses once per 18 months, and North Node usually shows our focus for the nearest future. At the same time, Venus squares, which is a conflict aspect, both with North Node of your future and Mars, the planet of drive. This could bring heated conversations, events involving a car or any other transport. Don't buy a car, by the way. If you sue anyone, this process will be endless and drain your pocket or your energy. Think before speaking. Breathe before reacting. Avoid road rage situations. They are your traps right now. From the good news, the sun enters your financial house, your 2nd house, lighting up your self-worth and money. You may receive a small financial gift, or you may simply realize that your value cannot be measured. Celebrate yourself. It's the house of your diet and your voice. Your personal financial spring starts with the warmth of the sun here, but it's not all. On July 24th, the new moon rises in your 2nd house. This could be the beginning of a new money cycle or a new chapter of self-esteem, but it's happening under the intense sky of Mercury retrograde, second chances, and the square, a tense aspect with Lilith in your 5th house. Some old wounds around love, creativity, or rejection might echo again. Let them speak, not to control you, but to be released and heard. I have a full video on Lilith if you want to understand how to work with her and with her energy. Please watch my full video on Lilith for this year. This new moon is the mirror, and you might see yourself with new eyes. July 28th, Venus in your 12th house speaks gently to Chiron in your 10th. It's time to forgive yourself for past career regrets. A moment of reflection could heal a professional wound. You are not behind, you are being guided. Today, write yourself a love note. Speak gently to the version of you who tried her best, or his best. July 30th, Venus enters your 1st house, your physical body, your aura, your presence. It's a time to glow again. Change your style, take new photos, fall in love with your new reflection. Jupiter blesses the same house, and this blessing lasts for a year. Enjoy the small pleasures. Accept compliments. You're magnetic now. Watch the short Jupiter video that I have on my channel for your zodiac and ascendant to know which gifts and blessings to expect. Also, the same day, Chiron turns retrograde in your 10th house, the path of legacy, career, and public identity, especially important for those who has the strong placements of OPHIUCHUS in their chart. You may begin a deep internal healing process around ambition, leadership, or how the world sees you, accepting your new status. Step by step, the universe is making room for your authentic power to shine through. You are not broken, you are in bloom. Dear Cancer friend, this month brings waves. But you are born with the moon as your compass, and water is your element. You already know how to ride the tide. Even the storm is sacred. Even the quiet holds power. So trust the flow, trust the timing, know the timing, trust the love that shaped your soul. And if this video resonated with you, please like, subscribe, and share it with someone who needs a little cosmic encouragement. Every comment receives a personal blessing. If you want to book a reading, here is my contact. Until next time, keep shining. Wishing you to have a wonderful month. See you in my future videos. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Leos. You are the heroes of this month. Your ruler sun returns home, dear Leo, and so do you, into the center of your radiance. But this no simple sunshine. The skies are alive with electricity, reversals, and soul deep reckoning. July 2025 is the theater of transformation, and you are the center stage. Let's begin at the very top. July 4th, Venus, just before leaving Taurus, kisses Uranus in the final degrees of your 10th house. A moment of shocking spotlight, something in your public image, your career, or even relationship with an authority figure would bring surprise. Maybe a sudden shift, a radical opportunity, or a lightning flash decisions you didn't see coming. And just as quickly, Venus, the ruler of money, luxury, and gifts, enters Gemini in your 11th house. Friendship, audiences, online business, biggest dreams, dating, and the house of your future. Connections calls, unexpected invitations arrive, a door to social healing opens. Some of you may reunite with the friends from your past or discover a new community that feels like a second soul home. On July 6th, Mars gently kisses Lilith. Your 2nd house of income and your 4th house of home are in heartwarming conversation. There could be a money conversation linked to family, a legacy, pregnancy, real estate, land, or property. Venus also forms a soft, supportive aspect with Saturn and Neptune retrograde both in your 9th house. You may feel called to pray, journal, write poetry, or take a spiritual retreat. You are deeply connected to a higher wisdom right now. Listen. Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your house 9 could be the closed door regarding justice, law, courts, education, but Venus is opening a door of opportunities. Self-discipline and dedication will bear a wonderful result now. There will be the second chances. Do not worry. On July 7th, a powerful shift. Uranus, the planet of disruption and liberation, officially enters Gemini in your 11th house. This is the beginning of the new 7 years era of your friendship, your audiences, and how you shape your place in society. Innovation begins here. You are about to discover a new tribe, to take your digital presence to another level. You might be attending unexpected invitations to the concerts, parties, and weddings. On the same day, Venus has an amazing lucky aspect with Pluto retrograde in your 7th house. Second chances in love or important partnership might arrive. A past connection could re-emerge, or a current one transforms under the gaze of this cosmic alchemy. You can see a loud comeback of the big money opportunities. gifts, sweets, and huge supports of the females or the business connected with the females. Meanwhile, Mercury in your sign forms a square with the black moon Lilith. It's not a good aspect. And the shadow corridor of Mercury retrograde begins. Tensions between your public face and private emotions might start resurfacing, but don't panic, it's the part of the process. I'll cover the deep meaning of this Mercury retrograde in my upcoming video, so don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. On July 10th, full moon in Capricorn, highlighting your 6th house of health, daily routines, helpers, and even pets. Something reaches a climax, maybe a project wraps up, or you finally get clarity on a wellness issue. It's a spotlight moment, so take a note of what's been building. Full moon will bring clarity or the beginning of the cycle of the treatments or service business, building something new, or caring about something or somebody. Is the cycle of the additional responsibilities. But be mindful, Capricorn rules the bones and joints. Avoid extreme sports or the overexertion during this lunation. If you'd like to know more about moon phases, lunar days, or how they affect each zodiac sign, check out my lunar guide available now on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde in Aries in your house 9, and it will continue until November 27. The Lord of Karma turns his gaze backwards. If you've been on a learning journey, spiritual quest, or legal path, now comes the review, the second exam. What lessons haven't yet been integrated? This isn't punishment, it's refinement. I'll speak more about Saturn 2025 and 2028 on my separate video available on my channel. If you've been feeling Saturn's pressure, that one is for you. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon moves through Aries. Here is a migraine alert. Avoid dental visits, facial treatments, and keep your meds close just in case. From July 17th to August 11th, there will be the active phase of Mercury retrograde in your sign, with the shadow corridor stretching until August 21st. Prepare for metaphoric storms, delays, tech glitches, old conversations repeating like echoes. It's not just about inconvenience, it's about inner recalibration. You're being shown what needs attention. Think of it like being caught on a sandbar while the tide is shifting. Don't force your way through. Let the waters rise again and float forward naturally. Please pay attention to your online business. Avoid an identity theft. Again, I'll unpack this in the details in my separate video. From July 18th to 20th, cosmic green light for the beauty rituals. Manicures, pedicures, and skincare treatments done now tend to last longer. From July 22nd, there will be big alignments. Mars opposes the North Node across your 2nd and 8th houses. Themes of money, debts, mutual funds, and energetic exchange come to a head. Are you giving too much or holding too tight? Venus squares that same North Node, adding attention to your friendship or community spaces. Do not start business on this day. Do not register your firm. Perhaps someone in your circle doesn't align with your long-term path anymore. Do not borrow money to your friends and do not lend the money. Avoid financial scam systems online. Also, Venus squares Mars. Expect a spicy moment. Perhaps jealousy, flirtation, or a fight. When Venus in Gemini squares Mars in Virgo, we're looking at a moment of inner and outer tension between love and action, desire and discipline. Here is what it means symbolically. Venus in Gemini is light, curious, social. It wants flirtation, fun, and intellectual connection. Love feels like a dance of words and ideas. Mars in Virgo is meticulous, particular, and a bit of a perfectionist. It wants to fix, analyze, organize, dissect, and get things right before moving forward. Now the square is a 90 degrees angle between the planets, and it's a challenging aspect. It often brings friction, irritation, or a need to integrate conflicting energies. So during this transit in the relationship, you might feel pulled back between wanting carefree conversations and a desire to fix or perfect everything. Misunderstandings can arise, especially if one person is craving light-heartedness while the other is focused on details or criticism. Watch out for the overthinking love matters or trying to correct your partners instead of listening. In actions or creative projects, desire, Venus, and drive, Mars, don't move in sync. You may want to start something new, but find yourself tangled in too many details or second-guessing your steps. It's easy to fall into analysis paralysis or say the right things at the wrong time. Spiritually or emotionally, this square can bring awareness of where your inner masculine and feminine energies are clashing. You may feel creatively blocked, torn between approaches, or unsure whether to pursue pleasure or improvement. But it's also a chance to balance spontaneous spirit with precision, heart with structure. What to do during this time? Speak kindly, even when offering critique. Let go of the need for perfection in love. Do not rush the decisions in relationship. Let both mind and heart have a say. Don't propose. Don't get married. Channel tension into creative work. Refine, revise, and polish what you love. And the good news, the sun enters Leo, your time, your throne. Even under the retrograde skies, your light can't help but shine. Happy birthday to everyone celebrating their solar return in July. May this new cycle bring you joy, growth, and golden opportunities. If the sun shines powerfully in your natal chart, your solar return becomes a celestial map crafted by your geolocation at the moment when the sun returns to its natal position. It reveals the main themes and rhythms of your year ahead, helping you to align your plans, financial affairs, and key decisions with cosmic timing for a new year. You are grown wiser, deeper, and more in tune with yourself. Wishing you a year full of love and divine timing. You can order your personal solar return chart or other astrology services by emailing me. Details are at the end of this horoscope. On July 24th, there is a new moon in your sign in Leo, a fresh start, the new beginning and the ending of something you wanted to let go in regards of your body, soul, and identity. But it's not just ordinary new moon. Mercury retrograde is active in your sign, and Lilith, the black moon, is involved in a challenging square. This isn't just about setting intentions, it's about acknowledging your shadow. Who are you beneath the mask? What is your shadow side? I've made a separate video about Lilith, the black moon, that will stay in Scorpio until December. It will help you understand what black moon means and how her influence can be used for empowerment, not fear. If you love your mom or dad, call them and tell them about love. Or if your parents are not with us anymore, mentally talk to them or your ancestors, and if they come in your dream, pay attention to what your parents would tell you. The support of your bloodline gets very powerful in the end of July. On July 28th, a ruler of money, luxury, pleasures, Venus sends a healing beam to Chiron in your 9th house. House 9 is the house of higher truth, exams, long-distance travels, visas, spiritual journeys, and the quest for meaning. This is no ordinary aspect. It's as if the universe opens a gentle window for emotional repair and release. If you felt wounded in the area of belief, identity, or purpose, like your faith in your own path was tested, this moment allows something tender to heal. Maybe you once loved learning or traveling, but life dimmed that spark. Or perhaps someone questioned your path, your truth, and you started doubting it yourself. Now, Venus, soft and magnetic in Gemini, expands a hand, not through logic, but through beauty, flowers, joy, and connection, music, smells, and art. This healing comes not from the heavy work, but through something unexpectedly light, a conversation that expands your worldview, a book or a class that reawakens your curiosity, a graceful moment of insight where you remember who you really are beneath all the doubt. This may even affect your sense of mission or calling. You are being softly guided to realign your higher truth with what you are truly here to do and share. Let the healing come not by force, but by following what delights your heart. On July 30th, Venus enters your 12th house, joining Jupiter and Selene, the white moon, in the same house. You can expect money from the occupations of house 12. Leave the comment if you want me to explain more here. Also, this placement can mean a pleasant treatment in the remote places, spa or retreats, great vacation, love with a foreigner, successful operation in the hospital, or a great insight in the place of isolation, successful research or an exam, or a successful investigation. Money could come from afar, from abroad. This marks the beginning of a magical, deeply intuitive phase. Spiritual love, dreams, clarity, and healing flow in quietly. Jupiter will stay here for a year, blessing your inner world, restoring faith. Please watch my Jupiter video for more uplifting news on how this can be a hidden treasure year for you. And Chiron will now remain retrograde in Aries for the rest of the year, inviting you to heal your philosophy, your worldview, and your trust in the higher plan. Dear Leo friend, this month may come with echoes of the past, emotional whirlpools, and the occasional thunderclouds, but in this way you are reminded of one thing: the sun returns to you. Even under retrograde skies, you're the lighthouse. You don't need perfect conditions to shine. You only need to remember you are the light. Let the heart lead. Let the spirit rest. Let the soul grow. And as always, subscribe and stay close. I've got deeper dives coming on my channel. Thank you for watching and see you in my future videos. Goodbye! Hello my shining stars, Virgo and Virgo rising. I'm Julia and you're on the First Lunar Day channel. July may not begin with fireworks for you, but it carries a quiet magic, a kind of cosmic editing process where the universe asks you to pause, revise, and discover hidden truth. Let's walk through it together. On July 4th, Venus kisses Uranus in Taurus just before stepping into Gemini. That electric Venus-Uranus moment lights up your 9th house, the domain of belief system, higher education, exams, visas, long-distance travels and trips, and your personal philosophy, as well as justice, laws, and courts. A flash insight may break old mental patterns wide open. You may suddenly book a trip, change a course of study, or rethink what you truly believe about life itself. This is a liberation moment for the mind and soul, and it's natural. Shortly after, Venus enters Gemini and your 10th house of career, public image, and recognition. Opportunities may arrive through communication, teaching, or networking. You could reconnect with an old colleague or project that once meant something. Your voice wants to be heard professionally, artistically, or publicly. On July 6, Mars in your sign, dear Virgos, forms a lucky aspect with the black moon in your 3rd house. This is subtle but powerful. Your drive, clarity, and ability to take grounded action blend with deep emotional truth in the way you speak or write. It can also mean a great luck in a stressful situation or in the accidents. It is the moment to say what's been sitting in the shadows, to call something by its real name, to face your fear, or to take a spontaneous trip. You can buy a car or a phone or a laptop. Also, Venus in your 10th house of visibility forms a supportive aspect, a door of opportunities with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your 8th house of shared resources, debts, inheritances, mutual funds, taxes, police, army, someone else's money, and deep philosophical transformation. A relationship or a professional partnership might evolve, heal. This could even bring a blessing through a joint project, financial investment, or emotional alliance that's built on mutual respect. A wonderful time to settle the lawsuit, apply for a grant, sponsorship, or scholarship. On July 7th is a potent sky. Uranus enters Gemini and your 10th house for a long run. This marks the beginning of a radical new era in your status and career, your role in the world, your public image, or even your calling may go through unexpected shifts over the next several years. You are entering the phase of liberation through purpose. On the same day, Venus kisses Pluto, activating joy in your 6th house of daily work, health, routines, helpers, and even pets. Something old may return, a colleague, a client, a debt, lost money, or a forgotten task, but now it carries the potential to transform your work life for the better. Mercury in your 12th house squares the black moon Lilith. Hidden thoughts, unresolved grief, or secrets could arise gently to a surface. This also marks the beginning of the Mercury retrograde shadow corridor, and as always, I'll cover it more deeply in my dedicated video, so stay tuned and subscribe. On July 10th, full moon in Capricorn shining in your 5th house of love, romance, creativity, joy, children, and self-expression, and of course personal business. Something you've been working on, be it a creative project, a heart matter, or a connection with a child, comes into a full light. You may receive news, make a decision, or feel a deep emotional release. Capricorn moons also affect the bones and joints, so please avoid extreme sports or higher risk activities. More on the lunar cycle and its impact on our body, our energy is available in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. July 12th, Saturn turns retrograde, your 8th house of intimacy, mutual funds, crisis and transformation, emotional entanglements, shared resources, and all things hidden. From now until November 27th, you are revisiting the contracts, emotional, spiritual, and karmic or financial, that you've made with others. Are they fair? Do they empower you? This retrograde is not a punishment, it's a second exam, a time to tidy up karma and claim back your energy. Don't be surprised if Saturn will take someone you know. It means their time has arrived, or someone has triggered the House 8 algorithms to end the current cycle of life, or if you have a good Saturn placement, the family soul will be returned to your bloodline. Saturn will spend 2.5 years in this house, and if this planet feels heavy in your life, please watch my Saturn video. Also, you might be interested in buying yourself any item with the natural blue sapphire. It will soothe the effect of Saturn 2025-2028. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon moves through Aries. Here is a migraine alert. Avoid facial treatments and dental appointments if you can, in order to prevent any complications. Keep meds handy and rest when your body whispers. From July 17th to August 11th, is the active phase of Mercury retrograde in your house 12. It's a house of dreams, rests, endings, and subconscious material. This is a sacred reset. You may feel drawn inward towards retreat, prayer, art, music, or solitude. Expect messages through dreams, feeling of déjà vu, or sudden emotional waves. This retrograde may bring unresolved stories back from behind the curtain. What you've been forgotten or avoided might ask for a gentle closure now. Avoid launching major projects until the retrograde and its shadow pass around August 21st. It's very easy to get disappointed and to be stuck on a sandbar, but trust the tide. From July 18th to July 20th, it's a beautiful window for beauty rituals. Manicures, pedicures, skincare treatments done now tend to last longer. More guidance is in my lunar guide, available on Kindle Amazon. On July 22nd is a wave of mixed emotions. Mars opposes the North Node in your 7th house of relationship, and Venus squares both North Node and Mars. This is a push-pull between your personal drive and someone else's path. A relationship, personal or professional, may reach a turning point. Maybe you're working too hard, and someone you care about needs more of your presence or attention. Or maybe you're chasing goals that no longer reflect who you are becoming. It's time to balance ambition with connection. It's a bad time for proposals of any sort, for suing your enemies, or to marry somebody. If you have family vacation, it might be energy draining. But there are good news. The Sun enters Leo at the same day, and in your house 12. Light enters the spiritual dimension of your chart. Rest, dream, reflect. You will have many second chances, but be aware of the foreign scammers, please. House 12 is house of faraway lands. And Sun brings light to the matters of unknown. More mysteries or something unknown will become to the surface right now. On July 24th, there is a new moon in Leo, a fresh beginning or the ending. But it's complicated because there is a Mercury retrograde is still active, and Lilith, the black moon, is squaring this moon. So there is not the time to push forward. It's a time of karmic rakes, so do not make any wishes right now. Instead, think of it as planting seeds in the quiet corners of your soul. Let them grow in the silence. Trust the mystery. I have a video on Black Moon Lilith that explains how to work with her until December 2025. On July 28th, Venus sends a healing vibe to Chiron in your 8th house. This is a tender moment. A wound around trust, vulnerability, fertility, or financial dependency may begin finally to mend. If you felt unsupported or if you've carried shame around receiving help, this aspect reminds you that healing is possible, even in the hardest places. Softness is your strength. On July 30th, Venus enters your 11th house of friendship, allies, networks, online dating and business, and long-term dreams. It's a house of your future. She joins Jupiter, who is expanding this house for a year. What a blessing. This is a beautiful energy to support yourself with soul friends, visionary collaborations, or causes that touch your heart. Even if Mercury retrograde slows things down, know this Jupiter is here to guide you towards the right people and the right timing. More details on this in my Jupiter video. And one more thing to mention, that Chiron remains retrograde in Aries for the rest of the year, helping you to peel back the layers of fear around intimacy, loss, and shared power. Dear Virgo friend, you are being asked to pause this month, not because you're off track, but because you're realigning with your deeper truth. Let go of perfection. Listen to what your spirit really needs. The universe isn't asking you to be efficient. It's asking you to be whole and to rest and to trust the tide. and I'm here with you on every step of your journey. Please subscribe and share with somebody who needs the cosmic encouragement. You can book your personal private readings or solar charts by emailing me, and I hope to see you in my future videos. Have a wonderful month. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Libras. I'm Julia, and you are on the first lunar day channel. July 2025 brings waves of a revelation, transformation, and emotional clarity. You are ruled by Venus, the planet of love, beauty, balance, and this month she dances through electric skies, guiding you into a deeper truth and higher perspectives. Let's walk together through your July sky and enjoy this walk around beautiful Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada. On July 4th, Venus, your ruling planet, embraces Uranus in the last degrees of Taurus right before she enters Gemini. The celestial kiss lights up your 8th house, the sacred chamber of shared finances, intimacy, mystery, death and rebirth, deep psychology, and soul contracts. You may feel a jolt of clarity around a joint account, taxes, an inheritance, or an emotional bond that's grown stagnant. This is a liberating insight. Something hidden may come to a light, a financial opportunity, a past due payment, or even a spiritual realization about power and trust. Then Venus glides into Gemini, activating your 9th house, the house of beliefs, exams, new horizons, higher education, publishing, second marriage, long distance travels and trips, and your life philosophy. You may be inspired to teach, write, study something spiritual, or speak your truth across borders. A book, a course, or a life-changing trip could arrive unexpectedly. Say yes to what opens your mind and lifts your spirit. You might start a successful international business or fall in love with a foreigner. On July 6th, Mars is in your 12th house of solitude, dreams, healing, and the unseen, creates a soft and surprising link with the Black Moon Lilith in your 3rd house of siblings, communication, ideas, local travels, contracts, and early education. This may bring a breakthrough in how you express hidden feelings. The hidden to the eye health issues will become known and cured with ease. Words that once felt locked away can now be spoken or written in the poetry, music, prayers, or heartfelt message. Also on this day, Venus in your 9th house forms a blessed trine with Saturn and Neptune in your 7th house. It's the window of opportunities in the house of marriage, partnership, relationship. Something graceful moves beneath the surface. And if before you felt stagnated in this house, there will be some new opportunities and second chances for this month. Venus is now in Gemini, lighting up your 9th house, the realm of higher education, belief system, foreign cultures, travels, and your spiritual compass. This is one of those moments when heart meets destiny. Venus softens the path of the heart. In your 9th house, she expands your worldview, infuses your longings with hope, and perhaps even opens the door to faraway places or higher learning. The victory in the quests for justice and success in the courts and learning the laws, good outcome or income after the marriage or divorce. Saturn and Neptune together in your 7th house ask for commitment and soul alignment in relationships. One brings structure, the other dreams, and today Venus gently threads these forces together. A relationship could deepen now, whether it's romantic, professional, or spiritual. If you've been navigating a long-distance connection, preparing to sign contract, or exploring a partnership that feels divinely timed, this is the kind of alignment that blesses you with clarity and grace. Even a teacher, a guide, or someone from another country could inspire you in the ways that leave a lasting mark. the marriage with a foreigner or the partnership with the international investors, the opportunities to neutralize your competitors or open enemies are very likely. Speak your truth. Ask for what you truly want in your connections. This is love in its most meaningful form, not just butterflies, but alignments of vision, values, and future. And if you feel it's in your bones, yes, this could be fate. On July 7th, Uranus enters Gemini for a long run, electrifying your ninth house. This is the beginning of the new spiritual quest, a reawakening of your mind, the relocation to another country or culture. Over the next few years, your beliefs may radically shift. You could study esoteric knowledge, astrology, for example, or travel to faraway places that mirror your inner evolution. On the same day, Venus in your ninth house kisses Pluto retrograde in your fifth house of romance, creativity, joy, children, love, and personal passion. New victories in the courts, justice system, especially if it was regarding your children, babies, or your plans, your project, or art. An old flame, creative project, or desire to have children may return, may be transformed. Second chances bloom in the soil of your heart. The trip that will turn your world upside down is quite likely. Meanwhile, Mercury begins a conflict with the Black Moon Lilith between your 11th and 2nd houses. If you want to lose your friends, lend them money. You will become very attractive for financial or energy scams and vampires. Keep this in mind. A shadow around money and belonging may arise, possibly involving a group, friends, or social media platform. It's the start of Mercury's retrograde corridor, so what's your thoughts? A deeper video is on my channel already about retrograde Mercury. Please check it out. Don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. More videos are coming. On July 10th, there is a full moon in Capricorn. This lunation shines in your 4th house, the realm of home, family, roots, females, formal documents, and emotional foundations. A chapter closes here. Maybe you move, end of the family pattern, or experience a powerful emotional realization. You might feel the need to create your own nest or release childhood wounds. Be careful of physical strain. Capricorn rules the bones and joints. Avoid extreme sports or risky climbs. More on lunar days and moon in different zodiacs, emotional rhythms is available in my lunar guide now on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn, the Lord of Time, starts its retrograde in your 7th house until late November 27th. Saturn begins its retrograde journey in Aries in your 7th house of relationships, sacred contracts, marriage, and soul mirrors. This is not a punishment, it's a pause or a second exam. From now until late November, you are being asked to re-examine the agreements you've made with others. Who holds your hand? Who shares your vision? Who reflects your growth and who reflects your fears? Saturn in Aries can feel bold, but retrograde it becomes reflective. You may revisit an old partnership, renegotiate a contract, or notice the karmic thread woven through your closest bonds. Are you given too much? Or are you afraid to fully commit? This is a time to straighten what's real and release what isn't. You may feel distance in the relationship or the turn of someone who once mattered deeply. Take your time. Let truth rise slowly, like the sun after a storm. This retrograde also helps you clear any unspoken expectations in partnership. Emotional accountability becomes your superpower. You are growing not just love, but in maturity, boundaries, and mutual respect. And remember, if someone exits your life now, it may be a soul contract fulfilled. Honor the endings. Bless the lesson. Let Saturn be your wise guide. Keep your heart open, but your feet steady. You may feel the heaviness of responsibilities, but Saturn only delays what isn't ready. Watch my full Saturn video on a better understanding this sacred process for the next 2 years. And if grief visits your body, know this too shall pass. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon moves through Aries. Migraine alert here. Please avoid dental work or cosmetic treatments during this window. Listen to your body and rest when needed. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrogrades in Leo. This plays out in your 11th house of dreams, friendship, networking, and your bigger vision for life. During this time, your social circle may shift. Friends from the past could reappear. Avoid launching big community projects until the shadow clears after August 21st. It's a time of reflection. Are you walking with the right tribe? Are your dreams still aligned with your soul? This is like a foggy harbor. Slow down, do not rush the boat. Let divine timing be your captain. From July 18th to July 20th, this is a moment for beauty. Skin and nail treatments hold well. Indulge in self-care. More details is in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. July 22nd. This day brings high attention and emotional ripples. Mars opposes the North Node across your 6th and 12th houses. It's health, work, and spiritual life. This is not a good time for the planned operations. Venus in your 9th house squares the node 2 and also Mars. Do not start any court cases or the fights for justice. This is the friction between your daily obligations and your inner world. Your body may need rest, but your to-do list grows. Give yourself grace. It's not a day to force anything, especially not legal matters, surgeries, or making big decisions. Instead, make space for silence. Answers will arrive in the stillness. On this day, Sun enters Leo and your 11th house. This is the good news. This brings light into your social world. Time to align with your greater mission, collaborate with visionary friends, and shine your gifts to the wider world. Your professional spring in social world and online connections and businesses arrived. On July 24th, there is a new moon in the same house, House 11, house of your community, hopes, and collective dreams. But this moon squares Lilith in Scorpio, and Mercury is still retrograde, so avoid pushing forward just yet. A karmic rake is hidden in the soil. This is the time to plant intentions in quiet. Let the dreams rise, not a rush. I have a video about Lilith that can help you navigate her power. Do not fear her. On July 28th, Venus in your 9th house sends a gentle healing touch to Chiron in your 7th house of partnership. Healing can bloom in a relationship, whether with a lover or a business partner or even within yourself. If you've struggled to trust or to forgive, this is the moment of grace. Even pain can become part of the masterpiece. July 30th, Venus enters Cancer, your 10th house of career and legacy, where Jupiter is already expanding your path for the next year. You can expect the good news, luck, gifts at work, office romance, or a promotion. This is a powerful time for recognition and purposeful leadership. Even if Mercury retrograde delays external results, trust that your light is seen. Support may come from women, creative industries, or nurturing roles. More details is in my Jupiter video, available now on my channel. Dear Libra friend, you are being gently redirected, not away from your path, but deeper into your truth. Let go of the need to please somebody else. Let your soul breathe. This July, you are being asked to find balance not only between others and yourself, but between action and surrender. And I'm walking this journey with you. See you in my next video, my dear cosmic hearts. Have a wonderful month. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, magnetic Scorpios and Scorpio OPHIUCHUS. This is Julia, and you are watching the First Lunar Day channel. I kindly invite you for a walk again in beautiful Vancouver in British Columbia, Canada, and July begins like a whisper before a storm, a deep inner call to transform your life from the roots up. You may feel quiet at first, but under this surface, the cosmos is stirring the waters of your soul. On July 4th, Venus kisses Uranus in Taurus just before she enters Gemini. This electric union lights up your 7th house of relationship, partnership, contracts, and committed bonds. It might bring a surprising encounter, a heart-flipping confession, or an unexpected shift in a relationship dynamic. Someone could appear out of nowhere or vanish just as quickly. Liberation is the key word here. Then Venus glides into Gemini in your 8th house of shared resources, finances, intimacy, emotional fusion, and rebirth. This is where love becomes deep, raw, and unfiltered. Expect transformations in how you share your resources, your body, your vulnerability. Venus here may bring a blessing through someone else's support, a grant, an inheritance, an investment, or even a deep emotional breakthrough that feels like a gift from the divine. On July 6, Mars in Virgo forms a soft sextile, it means lucky aspect, with the black moon Lilith in your sign between your houses 11 and 1. House 1 is house of your appearance and personal magnetism. Your power is undeniable. You're commanding attention without even trying. This is the time to speak boldly, lead confidently, and move with intuitive fire. You are just not showing up. You're emanating raw truth. Also on this day, Venus in your 8th house forms a healing harmony with Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your 6th house of work, service, routines, and health, and also animals and pets. This is a golden window for emotional healing through daily structure or animals. A work collaboration could deepen. You might receive support for a medical issue or guidance from someone who gently reminds you how sacred your service really is. If you've been struggling with boundaries at work or in caregiving roles, now is the time to set them lovingly but firmly. On July 7th, Uranus enters Gemini, planting long-term seeds in your 8th house. This marks the beginning of an era where your relationship to money, power, and intimacy is transformed by truth and surprise. Over the next few years, the way you merge with others, whether financially, emotionally, or sexually, will evolve. Secrets may come out. Karmic debts may be repaid. Hidden strength will rise from within. That same day, Venus in your house 8 forms a trine with Pluto in Aquarius in your 4th house of home, family, roots, and ancestry. This is a deep soul work. You may reconnect with family legacy, heal old family wounds, or even uncover an ancestral pattern that's ready to be broken. This can also bring financial or emotional support from family or a second chance at emotional safety. Meanwhile, Mercury in Leo in your 10th house of career and public image squares Lilith in your 1st. You may feel misunderstood, especially at work. Don't be shocked. A comment or an email may trigger something deeper, an old wound around visibility, authority, or how you are perceived. This marks the start of the Mercury retrograde shadow phase, and there is a deeper dive in my dedicated video on my channel about it. So don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell. On July 10th, there is a full moon in Capricorn, glowing in your third house of communication, siblings, contracts, and short journeys, transportation, and your surrounding. Something important is said, signed, or revealed. A conversation or written piece could reach a climax. You may receive news that shifts your perspective, or finally complete a learning cycle or paperwork that's been long overdue. You might receive the certification of some sort, or you will have a need to renew it. Emotionally, this moon invites you to let go limiting mental patterns, especially ones that block your voice. Capricorn full moons can affect the bones and joints, so please be careful, avoid risky sports, climbing, or overexerting your joints in the gym. More about moon in different zodiacs and energy of the moon is in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. Please check it out. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde in Aries in your house 6. From now until November 27th, you are re-evaluating your contracts of your daily life, your job, your habits, your responsibilities to the others. Are you working for love or out of fear? Is your schedule nourishing or depleting you? This is the second karmic exam, a time to do less but better. If someone's health is declining or an animal companion needs extra care, it's time to show up with grace. If you feel Saturn's weight too much, watch my Saturn video and consider the power of wearing natural blue sapphire. It helped me personally. From July 15th to July 18th, the moon passes through Aries. So here is a migraine alert for everybody who has chronic migraines. Avoid dental treatments and facials. Keep your meds handy and listen to your body. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrogrades in Leo and begins fully dancing backward through your 10th house of career and reputation. This is your professional soul check-in. Past career path may resurface. Former bosses, clients, or public roles might knock again, but this is not a time to lounge or push. It is a time to revise, reflect, and realign. Do you love what you do? Does it love you back? The shadow period lasts until August 21st. During this time, delays are divine. You may feel like you're drifting on low tide, but sometimes the sandbar is where you find buried treasures. From July 18th to July 20th, there is a perfect window for a beauty ritual. Manicures, skincare, pedicures all tend to last longer now. More in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. On July 22nd, the energy is thick with fate. Mars opposes North Node, the 11th house of friendship, social groups, and future dreams, online business, conflicts your 5th house of creativity, love, romance, and self-expression, art, and joy. This opposition brings a powerful tension between your drive to connect and organize with groups and your soul's call towards playful, heartfelt experiences. The party, a wedding, or a concert will be disappointing. So don't invest your energy or money in any group or dating activity until the astrological storm settles down. Expect some inner tug of war. Are you focusing too much on social obligations and not enough on joy and personal passions? Or are you resisting your role in a collective? Balance is key. This aspect pushes you to align your ambitions with your true creative desires. On the same day, Venus squares the North Node and Mars, and it travels through your 10th house of career and reputation, and it's a tense aspect. This creates friction between what you want professionally and what your soul craves for personal happiness. You may feel pulled between responsibility and freedom, between practical success and emotional fulfillment. Venus here encourages you to harmonize these energies through honest communication, perhaps revisiting how your work supports you. So it's a tense aspect between your 10th house and 9th house. It's a challenging aspect. House 10, it's your public house, and house 9, it's house of high learning, travel, philosophy. This can spark passion debates or restless energy around your beliefs and public image. You may feel impatient to act or frustrated with delays. Do not have a panic attack. Everything as supposed to be. It's just the day like that. Here, not to burn bridges, especially with mentors or authority figures, investors. Use this energy to courageously assert your ideas while staying open to feedback. And sometimes silence is gold. This is time to be passive and do not have expectations. Better not to get married or to propose of any sorts. On the same day, the Sun enters Leo, activating your 10th house of career, fame, and life purpose. Here comes the spotlight. You might be noticed, promoted, or simply feel called to step more fully into your authority. But because Mercury is still retrograde, don't rush decisions, shine with patience. You may receive a second chance, a return to an opportunity you once wanted but weren't ready for. Now, with wisdom gained, you can approach it differently. And please be aware of foreign scammers or manipulative business offers, especially through emails or social media. On July 24th, there is a new moon in Leo, glowing in your house 10. A new cycle is beginning, planted around your calling, your reputation, or a leadership role. But the skies are tricky. Mercury is still retrograde, and the black moon Lilith in your sign is squaring the new moon. This is not a moment to launch boldly. It's a karmic rake, a lesson about integrity, visibility, and timing. You may feel pulled to take bold action, but instead, let this new moon be a vow whispered to the stars. Trust the timing. Let your seed of ambition rest in the rich soil of intuition. Power grows quietly before it blooms. I have a full video on Lilith on my channel. Please check it out. July 28th. Venus in Gemini sends a healing beam to Chiron in your 6th house of health, work, service, helpers, pets, and everyday systems. This is a soft and sacred aspect. If you've been struggled with body image, burnout, perfectionism, or caregiving overload, this aspect offers emotional release and gentle repair. Maybe you'll receive help, finally accept support, or begin a new way of working that doesn't sacrifice your well-being. If your pet was sick, this is the time of remission or full recovery. This is also a beautiful time to forgive yourself for not being a machine or an AI. You're a sacred being and you're a human, not a checklist. On July 30th, Venus enters Cancer and your 9th house of higher education, long-distance travels, trips, visas, legal matters, court justice, personal truth, and second marriages. Here comes inspiration. Travel plans may arise, and of course, a teacher, a spiritual mentor, or a publishing opportunity may suddenly light up. The victory in the courts, the successful exams. Selene is here too until September. Your guardian angel and angel of light, inspiration, and of course, blessings. And the good news, Jupiter is already in this house, expanding your horizons for the next year. And now, with Venus joining, it's time to dream bigger, love deeper, and trust that universe is opening doors where you once saw walls. This is also a wonderful energy for love abroad, finding your tribe in a new community, new country, or softening your worldview. You didn't need to fight for truth. You can radiate it. If you are dealing with immigration, publishing, academic exams, courts, laws, or spiritual initiations, blessings are blooming. I have a full video about Jupiter on my channel. Check it out, your blessings for the next 12 months. And remember, Chiron remains retrograde until the end of the year, softly guiding you to rewrite the script around service, health, diet, and self-sacrifice. Dear Scorpio, OPHIUCHUS friend, July asks you to transform, but gently. This is not a month to charge ahead. It's a month to tune in, to release control, to trust the unfolding. You are being realigned with your truest power, not the one that fights or hides, but the one that loves, includes, forgives, and rebuilds. Let go of the need to be perfect. Let go of the fear of being seen. You are not here to prove anything. You are here to remember who you are. And I'm with you every step of the journey. Please subscribe if this resonates, and I'll see you in my upcoming videos. Much love from Julia, First Lunar Day channel. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Sagittarius and Sagittarius OPHIUCHUS says, welcome to July and a beautiful walk in British Columbia, Canada. Also, this month is the month of not just chaos, but a deeper realignment. Think of this as tuning your cosmic instrument so your voice and spirit can sing with truth again. Let's walk the path together. I'm Julia, and this is First Lunar Day channel, your space for clarity, magic, and meaning. On July 4th, Venus conjuncts Uranus in Taurus and then enters Gemini. The sudden spark happens in your 6th house, the realm of daily routines, service, health, pets, and your relationship with work. A breakthrough may arrive like lightning. Maybe you discover a more freeing schedule. Maybe a helper, an animal, or a healer enters your life like a blessing. Uranus here is shaking loose old patterns. If you've been feeling trapped in your job or wellness routine that no longer serves, this may be the sign for the universe you were waiting for. A wild insight might set you free. Then Venus steps into Gemini, into your 7th house of relationship, partnership, and contracts. Here she brings charm, connection, and the possibility of rekindling a bond that once meant everything. And of course, it brings money. Old flames may reappear, professional agreements may be reviewed, or a friendship may surprise you by deepening in unexpected ways. On July 6, Mars hugs Lilith, and Venus hugs Saturn and Neptune retrograde. Mars stirs action in your 10th house, your career, public image, and long-term goals. The lucky aspect to Lilith brings intuitive guidance from the shadows. You may take a bold step publicly, but it's being guided by something spiritual, subconscious, intuitive, or even ancestral. A dream may whisper the next right move. Pay attention to your dreams. Winning in the competitions, healing from the bad habits. Meanwhile, Venus in your house of love and unions create harmony with Saturn and Neptune in your 5th house, the house of creativity, romance, children, joy, personal business. This is a soulful day to build something lasting in love or in a creative venture. Check your solar chart if it's a good time for conceptions, especially in your case. But in general, the month of July is a great time to find or bring back joy into your life. An artistic collaboration, a long-lost love story, or even a moment of healing with your child or private business could bloom. On July 7th, a powerful sky. Uranus enters Gemini in your house 7 for a long run. And everything you thought about commitment, love, or partnership begins to change. You're entering a liberating chapter. Maybe the idea of what a relationship should be is evolving. Maybe someone surprising enters your orbit. This is the first breeze of long-term transformation, freeing you to love and to be loved in more authentic ways. Venus trines Pluto, it's a lucky aspect, in your third house of communication, siblings, your closest surrounding, contracts, information, transportation, and learning. Words hold power now, especially those from the past. Maybe a conversation reopens, maybe an old blog, letter, or message reappears with deeper meaning. This is the time to listen closely, especially to what you once silenced. At the same time, Mercury in your ninth house of truth and higher learning squares Lilith in your 12th. Avoid starting the court cases or applying for visas. Better to avoid travels and be aware of online scammers. This opens the shadow corridor of Mercury retrograde, and something hidden may rise. A belief system may be challenged. A secret may come into the light. I'll cover this more in my Mercury retrograde video on my channel, so don't forget to subscribe and ring the bell if you are curious about the deeper effects. On July 10th, there is a full moon in Capricorn in your financial house, in your house 2, house of money, values, and self-worth. A financial story may climax, or a decision about what truly matters could become crystal clear. You may close a chapter around income, spending, or possessions, or finally feel acknowledged for your worth. Please be careful with extreme sports and anything that pulls pressure on your bones, teeth, or joints. Capricorn moons bring strength, but also demands care. Our bones and joints become vulnerable during these days. More about phases of the moon and moon in different zodiacs and how it affects our body is in my lunar guide, available on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn begins its retrograde in Aries in your 5th house. Until November 27th, you are invited to re-evaluate your creative path, your romantic connections, and how joy truly lives in your life. This is a karmic review. Have you been playing too small in love, or chasing love where there is no real return? Children, fertility, artistic blocks, your personal business, or even unresolved affairs of the heart may come up again. But this is not punishment. It's a cosmic second exam and second chances. If Saturn weighs heavy in your chart, I invite you to watch my full Saturn video. You may also feel called to wear or hold natural blue sapphire stone, the stone of Saturn's deep wisdom. It helped me to smooth the period of Saturn in my life. From July 15th to July 18th, Moon moves through Aries. It's a sensitive time. If you are prone to headaches or migraines, listen to your body, avoid facial treatments, dental appointments, and stressful debates. Let art, laughter, or a walk under the stars be your medicine. Rest is much needed, and especially rest in nature. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrograde is in Leo. This unfolds your 9th house, the house that belongs to you, dear Sagittariuses. This is your quest for meaning, truth, long-distance travels, philosophy, teaching, and publishing. Mercury here may bring back an old idea, a forgotten course, or a trip you once postponed, or rescheduled, or a spiritual lesson you thought was over. You may feel called to edit your beliefs or revisit something you once knew is true. Let your inner compass guide you, not your ego. Avoid launching projects or signing major documents until Mercury shadows clears on August 21st. Your faith may be tested, but also beautifully renewed. More information is in my Mercury retrograde video on my channel. From July 18th to July 20th, there is a beauty window, a stunning lunar opening for skincare, manicures, haircuts, and gentle renewals. Treatments done now tend to last longer and nourish deeper. My Kindle Amazon Lunar Guide offers more on timing and beauty procedures as well. On July 22nd, Mars opposes the North Node. This happens between your 10th house and 4th house. House 10 is your career, house 4 it's your home and emotional roots. The tug of war is real. You may feel pulled between professional ambition and family or inner needs. Venus and Gemini also squares both Mars and the North Node. A relationship could feel strained. Maybe someone needs more of you while you're chasing success, or you may feel torn between a personal connection and your larger mission in life. This is not a day for confrontations, drama, travels, applying for visas, or signing anything binding. Family vacations may be more draining than dreamy. Hold space, journal, breathe before reacting, and then good news. The Sun enters Leo, your 9th house of a higher wisdom. A golden beam lights your way despite the emotional fog. You may find comfort in books, teaching, traveling, or spiritual practice. But be aware, scammers from abroad or hidden agendas may surface now. Trust your gut, do not trust strangers. On July 24th, there is a new moon in the same house, house 9, a fresh beginning in your beliefs, spiritual directions, or long-term goals. But it comes with shadows. Mercury retrograde is still active, and Lilith in Scorpio squares this moon. So what's the message? Don't rush forward. This isn't the moment to shout your plans or press go. Instead, plant quiet seeds. Revisit an old manuscript, a spiritual question, or a dream you buried, the old hobby you postponed. Let it take root in silence. I have a separate video on Lilith. Check it out to better understand her wild, untamed power and how to work with it, not against it. On July 28th, Venus in Gemini sextiles, it means a lucky aspect, with Chiron. A gentle beam of healing flows from your 7th house of relationship to your 5th house of creativity, love, and joy. This is a deep medicine for your heart. Maybe a wound around rejection, shame, or vulnerability softens. Maybe a partner, a child, or a past lover offers a moment of truth. You are not broken, you are healing. Let softness be your strength. On July 30th, Venus enters Cancer. She steps into your 8th house, the house of intimacy, soul bonds, shared resources, finances of other people, and emotional rebirth. This is a deep love territory, sensual, transformative, a little mysterious. And here comes the magic. She joins Jupiter and Selene. Jupiter is expanding this house for the next 12 months. This is not just about money or attraction. It's about the deep yes between souls. This is a blessing for emotional intimacy, investments, forgiveness, and karmic healing, and of course, hidden knowledge. Whether you receive support, start a joint venture, or experience a soulful connection, it may feel like a divine timing. Even if Mercury retrograde slows the outer world, Jupiter's light says, trust the process. The right people and resources are coming. Chiron remains retrograde in Aries through the rest of the year, guiding you gently through the old fears around self-expression, heartbreaks, and vulnerability in love. So dear Sagittarius and OPHIUCHUS friend, this month is not about acceleration, but it's about purification. Let your heart soften. Let yourself dream. Let yourself receive. You are not being delayed. You are being reawakened. And I'm with you every step of the way. See you in my next video. I wish you to have an amazing month. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars, Capricorns, and all individuals who has Capricorn as their rising sign. I'm Julia, and you're on the first lunar day astrology channel. Welcome to another nature walk and your horoscope for July. This month whispers truth and roars awakenings. It asks you not to climb harder, but to climb wiser, not to control, but to collaborate with the rhythm of the divine. Let's walk through it together. On July 4th, Venus conjuncts Uranus and Taurus and then enters Gemini. Venus kisses Uranus in the final degrees of Taurus in your house 5. House of love, dating, romance, joy, art, children, and your creative essence. This is a flash of liberation. A creative block may burst open. A love story may surprise you. You may feel an urge to dance, paint, confess, meditate, or even conceive. Please check your solar chart individually for you if it's a favorable year. This electric moment might deliver a breakthrough with your child, a long-lost crush, or a passion project that has been buried in your drawer. Then Venus glides into Gemini, activating your 6th house of health, daily work, pets, routines, and those who help you. Here, she sparks with charm and lightness, bringing harmony into your everyday life. You may fall in love with a new schedule, a different way of eating, or meet someone delightful at work. This is a beautiful time to beautify your habits, refresh your skincare, or adopt a furry companion. Venus could mean a female helper, a wise person, an assistant, a nanny, a nurse, a powerful support from service business or caregiving industry. On July 6, Mars in Virgo sextiles Lilith in Scorpio, and Venus in Gemini sextiles Saturn and Neptune in Aries. What it all means. Mars energizing your 9th house of higher learning, foreign travel, belief system, justice, laws and courts, and cosmic truth forms a soft connection with the Black Moon Lilith in your 11th house of friends, networks, online business, and long-term visions. This is all about courage to express something unspoken. You may share your truth in a community, post a raw story online, or have a conversation that shakes open a stagnant dream. Lilith in Scorpio doesn't tolerate fakery. She awakens what's been locked in your spiritual world. Venus in your 6th house also sends soft healing rays to Saturn and Neptune in your 4th house of home, family, traditions, real estate, official documents, and your inner sanctuary. You may receive emotional support through work, or a co-worker may become like a family. The good news regarding the places of your living and pregnancy news maybe, or a new pet in the family. This is also a lovely window to heal something ancestral. Perhaps a home tension eases or a memory finds resolution. You might be visited by the female relatives or in the dreams. Pay attention to your dreams. On July 7th, an astrological milestone. Uranus enters Gemini, activating your 6th house for years to come. Prepare for major innovations in your work life or health approaches or how you serve others, unexpected additional responsibilities and new routines. Watch my Algol 2025 video if you have this fixed star in your chart. You may explore alternative medicine, switch careers, or become more digital nomadic in your routine. The unexpected healing abilities might come and you'll be forced to self-educate. It won't happen overnight, but this is the seed, and it's very fertile. Venus, a ruler of money, gifts, pleasures, also forms a powerful opportunity aspect with Pluto retrograde in your 2nd house of money, self-worth, possessions, and your voice. Old financial stories may resurface, a forgotten talent may reawaken and begin generating income, voice and diet might become your main focus to generate an income too. You may be given a second chance to reclaim your value emotionally or materially. Meanwhile, Mercury in Leo, your 8th house of intimacy, shared resources, and transformation, conflicts with Black Moon Lilith in Scorpio in your 11th house. You'll become a juicy target for scammers, cyber criminals, fraud, especially if you had this experience before. So do not trust strangers or those people who betrayed you before. House 8 is house of police, army, tax services, banks, money of others. So do not invest, do not open bank accounts, do not lend or borrow the money or apply for mortgages, loans, sponsorship, or the grants. Square is the conflict, and you will not get what you expected nor wanted. House 11 is online business, social media world, your friendship circle or group spaces, churches, and organizations. It's a money and other people conflict that might involve you. It could be insurance, inheritance, or any other social payment issues and problems. Your partners might drag you in their financial issues, so warn them too, not to become the victim of the scammers. It's your house 8, so be extra alert. This square also marks the beginning of the Mercury's shadow corridor, so no new beginnings. You'll want to keep your intuition sharp. And don't forget, I'll have the detailed video about Mercury retrograde on my channel, so hit that subscribe button if you want to dive deeper. On July 10th, there is a full moon in Capricorn, and now your own full moon arrives, illuminating your first house, your identity, body, goals, and your aura. This is a culmination, a spotlight, a deeper realization of who you are becoming. You may let go of an old self-image or step into a new chapter of personal authority. It could also bring a relationship turning point as you recognize where you've been too rigid or too accommodating. Capricorn full moons often echo in the bones and joints, so avoid extreme sports and overworking in the gym or in your garden. More lunar details can be found in my lunar guide, available now on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn retrograde begins in Aries until November 27. Your planetary ruler, Saturn, enters your house 4. This is not a punishment, this is a sacred review. Your auditor comes to check if you feel safe and comfortable where you live. If you didn't do your homework well, you'll be forced to make choices and open your eyes. You may revisit themes around your parents, real estate, childhood memories, or family karma. This is a powerful time to reorganize your foundation. Some Capricorns may move, renovate, or reconnect with ancestral wisdom. Others may experience a test through caregiving, emotional resilience, or being the strong one when others lean on you. Or maybe it's time to make your official family documents in order. Saturn governs time and soul contracts. If someone departs now, spiritually or physically, it was their time. And if someone returns, it's likely karmic. I speak more in details about Saturn in my Saturn video on my channel. Also, what helped me is the blue sapphire stone that may offer support during this heavy yet meaningful transit. You can make a little research on that. From July 15th to July 18th, Moon travels through Aries, and it's a migraine alert for everybody who has chronic migraines. Avoid facial treatments, dental visits, or overwhelming family gathering during this time. Instead, nourish yourself with rest, grounding food, and comforting rituals. Your inner child may want a soft word or a slow walk under the stars. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrogrades in Leo. And it starts in your 8th house of shared finances, intimacy, transformation, and emotional entanglement. This is your deep water. Secrets, debts, all fears, and power dynamics may come up, not to haunt you, but to be healed. Be mindful in contracts, loans, joint ventures. This retrograde may also bring back a former lover or collaborator for karmic closure. Avoid launching new financial projects or investments right now. Instead, review your emotional landscape. Are you holding guilt that isn't yours? Are you depending on others for validation or support in the ways that feel imbalanced? The universe offers you a chance to rewrite this script. From July 18th to July 20th, there is a beauty window. This is a sweet pocket for beauty treatments, haircuts, skincare, manicures, pedicures, anything that helps you feel reborn. The energy now supports longevity in beauty and wellness rituals. For more tips, check my lunar guide. July 22nd, Mars in your 9th house opposes North Node in your 3rd. Mars is war, action, drive. House 9, laws, courts, justice. North Node is the future focus for the next 18 months, and it's in the house of documents, your closest surrounding, siblings, roommates, relocation, transportation. Venus in your 6th house conflicts with both North Node and Mars. So what does it mean? It can mean an unsuccessful treatment or service, misdiagnosis, bad doctors or nurses, medical negligence cases or mistakes. So it's the best to avoid any planned operations. This is a crossroad between expansion and expression. You may feel pulled between the desire to grow and explore and the daily tasks that anchor you in peace. Be cautious in travel or legal matters. A conversation may become too heated. You may feel pressured to act, but it's not a good way for signing contracts, proposals, or marriage. If you're planning a family trip, it would feel more draining than joyful. Choose your peace over productivity or people-pleasing. Good news, on the same day, the Sun enters Leo, lighting up your 8th house. This brings the spotlight into intimacy, shared money, and your own shadow work. Let the light shine into your hidden places. There is a gold in the dark. Be cautious of scammers or manipulative people, especially online. If you're intuitive, trust the signal. On July 24th, there is a new moon in Leo. A new cycle begins in your 8th house, but it's under complex skies. Mercury retrograde is active, and this moon is squared by the black moon Lilith in your 11th house of friendship, groups, and long-term dreams. This moon stirs karmic dust. A betrayal or secret may arise. You may sense it in your dreams or in your gut, but don't react. Don't rush. This is a moment to plant seeds of deeper truth, away from noise and expectations. Trust the silence more than the surface. I have a full video on Lilith energy. Please watch it if you'd like to understand how to work with her, not fear her. On July 28th, now comes the soft healing. Venus in your 6th house of wellness and daily service sends a loving beam to Chiron in Aries in your 4th house of inner child, family patterns, real estate, and ancestral pain. You may realize that you've sacrificed self-care for duty, or where your worth was shaped by what you did rather who you are. This is a powerful time to begin therapy, start a journal, or silently in your heart, embrace yourself. You don't need to forgive anyone. Just accept people as they are. It's a natural process of universe order, of light and darkness. Softness is your strength. This transit reminds you that even your scars can glow. On July 30th, Venus now enters Cancer, lighting up your 7th house of committed relationships, both personal and professional. This is a golden period for love and pleasures. Connections sweeten. A partner may open up. You may feel ready to love again or to receive love in a more nurturing way. Business partnership also benefit, especially if you lead with empathy rather than strategy. Jupiter is already blessing this part of your chart for the whole year, for 12 months, bringing long-term support through people who genuinely want to see you thrive. Let the right ones in. And Chiron? He remains retrograde in Aries for the rest of the year. He will continue to help you peel back the layers of inherited fears or old pain rooted in family, roots, and self-protection. Healing is a spiral. You are not going backwards, you are going deeper. Dear Capricorn friend, this month asks you not to climb, but to melt, to soften, to integrate. Let go of the idea that control brings safety. The universe is realigning you with your own inner authority, and that begins with rest, release, and receiving. You are not just building something in the world, you are building something inside, a heart more open, a foundation more whole. You got this. Thank you for comments that help my channel to grow. It's more than 2,000 of us already. I wish you to have an amazing month of July and see you in my next video. Goodbye. Hello my shining stars, dear Aquariuses and all individuals with Aquarius as an ascendant. I'm Julia and you are tuning into the first lunar day astrology channel. July 2025 opens not just thunder, but with the soft crackle of electricity behind the scenes, a quiet shift in the air, as if something ancient is beginning to dissolve and something future born is whispering your name. Let's take this cosmic journey together. Welcome to another walk in Vancouver and your horoscope for July 2025. On July 4, Venus, the planet of love and comfort, brushes against Uranus, the planet of surprise and liberation. A spark of change lights up your fourth house, the house of roots, home, ancestors, the land beneath your feet, and the foundations of your soul. This could bring a sudden shift in your living situation, a reconnection with family, or a decision to release the past. Something about your relationship with your heritage or your dwelling space may crack open to let the light in. You might find a female helper, a wise stranger, or a new roommate, a great real estate opportunity. Then Venus steps into Gemini in your fifth house of love, joy, romance, and creative spark. This is where your heart begins to beat louder. Someone from the past may reappear, a forgotten muse, an old flame, a childhood hobby. Creativity returns. You are invited to play again. Venus is the most powerful in this house. You can meet your significant other or create your masterpiece this month. On July 6, Mars has a lucky aspect with the Black Moon. This activates your 8th house of shared resources, intimacy, transformation, and the mystical undercurrents of life. You may feel empowered to speak a difficult truth or reclaim a part of yourself that was once buried in shame. If you applied for joining police, army, or any financial organization, you'll have a good luck changing your status. Mars is in your house 8, and it adds drive to be more involved in the financial matters of the insurance companies, banks, taxes. Also on this day, Venus in your joyful fifth house sends a supportive flow to Saturn and Neptune retrograde in your third house. Your ideas, house of your mind, thoughts, communications, siblings, short journeys, and inner dialogue. Saturn retrograde here invites reflection on the words you use, the contracts you sign, the stories you repeat. Neptune brings softness and imagination. Together, these aspects help you to speak with more beauty, create with more clarity, and build meaningful connections with your local environment or your own inner voice. You can create the best music, the best artwork during this month. On July 7th, a cosmic turning point, Uranus, the travel planet of innovation and awakening, enters Gemini for the years to come and activates your fifth house of love, joy, children, and art. For the next several years, prepare for wild liberation in matters of heart. You might start dating again. You might break free from an old narrative about love or fertility or passion. Your inner child is ready to dance again. You will see more of your inner child needs and how to satisfy them. On the same day, Venus has a lucky aspect with Pluto retrograde. This is a beautiful blessing. Pluto whispers from the depth of your identity, asking you to shed an old skin. Venus brings pleasure and romance into the equation. This could bring second chances in love, passion, projects, reborn, or healing of your confidence. The very fresh start, new life, new looks, passports, status. Let your soul glow, even if it's quiet. Something magnificent is being reborn within you. Also, Mercury in Leo, the sign of your opposite, squares Lilith, the black moon, touching your 7th and 10th houses. The shadow corridor of retrograde Mercury begins. There will be hiccups and mistakes with the documents. This signals a time to be careful in partnership, both personal and professional. Misunderstandings may arise. Old patterns in relationships may whisper back. I have a separate video on retrograde Mercury on my channel. Please check it out. Don't forget to subscribe. On July 10th, there is a full moon in Capricorn shining in your 12th house. This moon is like a beam at the end of the long corridor. It's illuminating your inner world, your secrets, your rest, your solitude, isolation, and your connection to the divine. You might have a revelation in the meditation, a deep emotional release in a dream, or a breakthrough. Be gentle with your body. Capricorn rules the bones and joints. Avoid extreme sports and pushing too hard in the gym or in your garden. The hospital visits are very likely. More about lunar phases and energy work is in my lunar guide on Kindle Amazon. On July 12th, Saturn brings its retrograde in Aries, and this lights up your 3rd house again. The universe is asking you to slow down and revise your contracts, both literal and energetic. What stories have you been telling yourself? What words no longer serve your purpose? Expect delays in travels and communication, but also expect clarity about the truth you are meant to share. If you feel the weight of karma, please watch my Saturn video. It can guide you through this important test of soul and voice. Some of my clients find it helpful to have a natural blue sapphire stone to soften the effects of Saturn. From July 15th to July 18th, Moon is in Aries, so it's a migraine alert for everybody with chronic migraines. Avoid facial treatments and dental visits that can trigger this state, these conditions. Keep your medicine and water close. Listen to your body's whispers. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrogrades in Leo in your 7th house of relationship, mirrors, soul contracts, and partnership, and open enemies. Expect the unexpected. Ghosts from the past may return. Communication may break down before it rebuilds stronger. Old misunderstandings in love or business may resurface for healing. Don't rush it into contracts or big decisions. This is the time to reflect, renegotiate, and renew. But remember, I'll cover this more deeply in my retrograde Mercury video. From July 18th to July 20th, the moon glides through Taurus. And of course, it blesses your 4th house, the house of roots, sanctuary, and family. This is the perfect window for self-care rituals, skin, nails, nourishing food, grounding conversations with elders or your inner child. Manicures and beauty treatments done now tend to last longer. Let beauty begins at home. Let comfort become sacred. A complex crossroad starts on July 22nd because Mars opposes the North Node, pulling on your 8th and 2nd houses. And the axis of trust, intimacy, money, it's the major financial axis. And of course, it's soul survival. At the same time, Venus squares both Node and Mars, creating tension between desire, action, and destiny. This is a potent test. Are you chasing security, or it's time to trust the mystery? Is a relationship or financial arrangement demanding too much of your life force? You may need to say no in order to say yes to your truth. Also, on this day, the good news, the Sun enters Leo in your house 7. So now you will have a spotlight shift in relationship contracts. Partnership becomes center stage. You may crave more connection, but also feel the friction of what's not aligned. The key is balance. Not all light is found in action. Sometimes it glows quietly in eye contact, in patience, in shared silence. On July 24th, new moon in Leo brings you a fresh beginning in the same house, in your 7th house, of one-on-one connections, contracts, and heart mirrors. But this new moon isn't clean and clear. It's wrapped in Mercury retrograde in the same house and squares by the black moon Lilith activating your 10th house. Something hidden from public view about relationship, a partnership, or your role in the world may emerge now. Your social media might disappoint you. This isn't a moment to leap forward, but is the perfect moment to plant seeds in the dark. What kind of love or collaboration do you truly want? What legacy are you building with others? I've made a separate video about Lilith, energy, and how to operate it. Please check it out. Lilith will stay in your house 10, house of achievements, until December. July 28th. Venus has a wonderful aspect with Chiron between your houses 5 and 3. A wound around your voice, kids, dating, your expression, your childhood joy may be gently healed now. If you've held shame around speaking, creating, or loving freely, this is a cure. The universe whispers, your voice is beautiful. Your presence matters. You are worthy of joy. Please avoid your joy eaters in your surrounding. On July 30th, Venus enters Cancer, lighting up your 6th house of daily work, health, helpers, assistants, and animals. This brings sweetness to your routines. You may find more beauty in the simple things, in tea rituals, workspaces, acts of service, working with nature, or with animals. It's a lovely time to adopt a pet, bring in flowers to your desk, or bring in more grace into your calendar. At the same time, Jupiter is expanding your house 6 for the next 12 months. You will have more obligations due to a new job, new status, or service. Even if Mercury retrograde slows things down with your marriage, Jupiter promises growth, just in divine timing. Surround yourself with people or colors who make your heart beat louder. Dear Aquarius friend, July is a month of deep mirroring. Everything around you mirrors your inner world. You are learning to partner with the world again, gently, truthfully. Let love evolve. Let your story be rewritten with softness, and you are not broken. You are unfolding. And I'm with you always. Stay tuned for the next horoscopes. Subscribe if you haven't, and if this touched your heart, leave a comment. Tell me what you are experiencing, or book a reading if you want. And remember, your sky is sacred. Trust it. I wish you to have a wonderful month ahead. See you soon. Goodbye. Hello, my shining stars. Pisces, I'm Julia, and welcome to the First Lunar Day channel. Welcome to another walk in Vancouver and your horoscope for July. July for you begins like a soft wave washing over ancient shores. There is a wisdom in your heart that is ripening, deepening. It's not a time of rushing. It's a month to feel, to sense, to intuit the right moment before you act. Let's flow with this current together. On July 4th, Venus kisses Uranus in your 3rd house, the space of communication, daily thoughts, short travels, and your communication with siblings or neighbors, school, and documents. You may suddenly find that the documents or a phone you've been searching for finally found. A conversation may awaken your heart. A message, a letter, or even a short trip may change something fundamental in how you think and speak. Right after, Venus steps into Gemini and your fourth house of home, family, emotional roots, and childhood stories. Your heart begins to nest. You may feel drawn to relocate, redecorate, to connect with family, or to beautify the spaces you live in. A moment of sweetness may arrive through your mother or a material figure in your life. You might feel a longing for a place that once felt like home, or decide to create one, finally, for yourself. Venus brings money too. Check your bank account. On July 6th, Mars energizes your seventh house of relationship and partnership, while Black Moon Lilith whispers from your ninth house of higher wisdom, justice, education, and long distance matters. This is a potent, honest energy. A conversation with someone close might reveal a truth that makes you free. You could be pulled into a deep discussion about fertility, faith, ethics, or a long distance connection. This is also a wonderful day to travel with someone you love, or to speak your truth to someone who needs to hear it, or to travel solo to find yourself. Also, on this day, Venus in your fourth house forms a soft, healing aspect with Saturn and Neptune retrograde, now in your second house of money, stability, and self-worth. A blessing could come through family support, through something connected to your home, to real estate, or through a deep emotional realization about what truly makes you feel safe. Someone might offer you help or job. A dream about a property or an inheritance could resurface. Trust what feels solid and quietly kind. Now July 7th brings us to a powerful turning point. Uranus enters Gemini and your fourth house. It begins a longer cycle that will reshape your idea of home. You may move, renovate, relocate, discover hidden family truths, or choose to release an emotional pattern tied to your past. Freedom is arriving, but it may come through change. Trust it. Also on the same day, Venus gently kisses Pluto retrograde, which for you activates a tender and transformative connection between your fourth house of family and your 12th house of hidden realms, dreams, and spirituality. You may have a vivid dream about someone who has passed. You may remember something from childhood that now heals you, or you may simply feel a soft pressure to go inward, to understand your roots on a soul level. If anyone from your family gets into a hospital, there will be a successful hospital procedure or a successful operation. It's a perfect time for a family reunion trip, signing the contracts, to work in the remote places, or changing the immigration status. But also on the same day, Mercury in Leo begins its shadow phase in your sixth house of health, work, service, pets, and routines. It forms a square with Black Moon Lilith. Even if you had bad news, this could bring up the misdiagnosis, test mistakes, some secrets will be revealed, or pay attention to your body because it can signal you what you shouldn't ignore. Listen to your energy levels. Don't push yourself too much. And remember that rest is not weakness, it's wisdom. On July 10th, there is a full moon that rises in Capricorn and lights up your 11th house of friendship, community, online business, and your biggest dreams. You might join a new group, a collaboration could come to a peak, or you might quietly say goodbye to a circle that no longer fills your spirit. The Capricorn moon asks you to honor your soul tribe and your long-term vision. Be honest with yourself about who you are becoming and who truly belongs in that future with you. Also, Capricorn moons make our joints and bones vulnerable, so don't participate in the active sports and don't overwhelm your body in the gym or in your garden. Then on July 12th, Saturn turns retrograde in your second house. This is your space of income, self-worth, and how you relate to the material world. From now until the end of November, you are being asked to reflect. Are you being paid what you are worth? Is your financial knowledge strong enough? Are you living by your values? This isn't a punishment, it's a sacred audit. And sometimes Saturn removes things not to hurt you, but to create space for something more aligned. It will vacuum out everything that you don't need in your house of money. If money feels tight or your self-worth feels low, I invite you to watch my Saturn video where we talk about how to work with this energy. From July 15th to July 18th, Moon glides through Aries. And this is a migraine alert, so keep your medicine close. It's not the best time for facials or dental work. Please rest, hydrate. More information about lunar cycles, lunar days, and moon in different zodiacs and vulnerable body parts I have in my lunar guide that is available on Kindle Amazon. From July 17th to August 11th, Mercury retrograde unfolds its active phase in Leo in your 6th house of health, daily routines, co-workers, and pets. This is not a minor detail, it's a sacred reset. A time to listen to your body's whispers, to slow the tempo of your days, and to revisit what truly serves your well-being. Old work themes may return. A task unfinished, a message misunderstood, or a medical checkup you've been postponing. The universe asks, are you in harmony with your rhythm? Do your routines nourish you? Don't rush into new routines just yet. Let this retrograde be your cosmic retreat. Avoid launching big projects or making firm health decisions until after the shadow lifts on August 21st. And remember, even if you feel like you are drifting at sea, the tide is still divine. I will have a separate video about Mercury retrograde. Please check it out. From July 18th to July 20th, the stars give us a treat. This is a perfect time for beauty treatments, manicures, pedicures, skincare rituals. Anything done now will last longer and feel extra magical. More about these wisdoms are in my lunar guide. Now, July 22nd, a stormy astrological weather starts. Mars opposes North Node, Venus squares North Node and Mars. All this happens across your 7th house of partnership, your 1st house of identity, and your 4th house of home and roots. Relationships may feel like a tide. One moment sweet, the next stormy. Someone may challenge your sense of self. Or a family issue resurface, challenging your foundations of safety and security at home. Someone might feel so fed up with toxic environment that you might want to make the first move. Take a break if it's possible. Don't rush into contracts, declarations, or breakups. Let the cosmic dust settle. Stay close to what truly feels like home within you. Go into nature. Spend time with animals. And the good news, on the same day, the Sun enters Leo and lights up your 6th house. It reminds you to find joy in your daily work and to honor the sacred in your simplest routines. Your body is your temple, and the sun now illuminates what's been hiding in its corners. The right diagnosis will finally arrive. The new lifestyle will require your discipline and self-respect. Then, July 24th, a new moon in Leo rises, whispering the new beginnings in the same house, house 6. Your work, routines, health, healing, pets. But the sky is not quiet. Mercury retrograde is still active, and it conflicts with the black moon Lilith in your 9th house. Maybe your travel plans would be cancelled, the treatment postponed, the promotion rejected, but there will be better times for all of your dreams coming true. Trust the tide. This is not the clear launch. It's not the time to push forward blindly. There may be misunderstandings in your workplace, or a belief you once held may be questioned. Be open to the idea that travel plans may shift. Legal matters may need revision. The court session might be rescheduled. It's the time of the karmic rakes, a moment to walk carefully through emotional and intellectual weeds. It's better to avoid publishing a book during this time. Think of this new moon as planting seeds in a twilight. Trust what you feel more than what you see. I have a separate video on Lilith on my channel, please check it out. Then comes a gift, July 28th. Venus in your 4th house of roots, ancestry, and emotional security sends a gentle kiss to Chiron in Aries, now retrograde in your 2nd house of worth and money. This is a healing current, a deep moment of forgiveness or clarity about something you inherited emotionally or materially. Maybe you realize how strong you've become through adversity in the last year. Maybe a family wound begins to soften. Maybe you simply accept your worth without needing to prove it to anyone. That moment, that feeling of mutual love and peace with yourself is truly magical. Softness is your strength, dear Pisces friend, and your softness is divine. And now, July 30th, Venus leaves Gemini and enters Cancer, your 5th house of love, creativity, children, and joy. She brings gifts, pleasures, money, and it joins Selene, your white moon, your inspiration, luck, and your guardian angel. And of course, Jupiter is here too for the next 12 months. It's expanding this house like a blooming garden for the entire year. This is beautiful. Check my Jupiter video to discover which blessings to expect and how to benefit from this transit the most. Even if Mercury retrograde brings delays, Jupiter and Venus remind you that love grows anyway, sun shines anyway, that joy is still possible, that your art, your play, your passions, they are sacred, they are enough. You are enough. Your ruler, Neptune, reminds you that you don't need to chase the light. The darkness is a natural state of the universe, and the black moon Lilith reminds us to accept and embrace the dark, peaceful places of our soul, because humans grow in the darkness of the womb, and each of us needs a deep dive into our subconscious in order to emerge able to be healthy and wise. Chiron, a wounded healer, remains retrograde for the rest of the year, working quietly to help you reclaim power where you once felt helpless, especially around money, self-esteem, and giving or receiving love. So, dear Pisces friend, this month doesn't ask for perfection. It asks for presence, for softness, for a willingness to dive or to float even when the shore disappears for a while. You are not drifting, you are deepening, and I'm with you all the way. Every comment will be personally blessed. Congratulations to all of us. It's over 2,000 of us already on my channel. Here is a contact if you want to have a personal reading. I wish you to have an amazing July month. See you in my future videos. Goodbye.